Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters. Peace to you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater than anything. I've chosen for you today a very important verse from a very important surah, especially in the times we're living in light of recent events. This is Al Imran, the family of Imran. This is the name of the surah. And the number of the surah is verse 51. I'm only giving you from this surah tonight 3 words. 3 words for your Arabic assignment. But yet I'm going to discuss the verse that comes before and the verse that comes after. And I'm concentrating on your aqidah more than ever now, because in light of some recent events, our beautiful deen of Islam is being misrepresented and being slandered and creating so much confusion in the minds of those who don't know, and perhaps even shaking the faith of those who are Muslim. So I'll try my best to help clarify some of the issues of aqidah, and I think I can clarify it very well with this one short verse. Verse 51 of Al Imran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله ربي وربكم فاعبدوه هذا صراط مستقيم. This verse says, Allah is my Lord and your Lord. So worship him. This is the straight path. It is a very small ayah, but it is very powerful when you understand that Isa, Jesus, is speaking to the tribe of Israel. Why? Because he came to tell them that the person that they think is Allah is not Allah at all. Allah is not a person. Allah is above creation and does not resemble any creation. So why were they worried about Isa? And why has Isa been misrepresented as a person, as a human that they wanted to kill? Because he was threatening their interests and their, let's say, business and their jurisprudence, which they felt that they ought to be the ones that would make laws, etc. So Isa himself says, Inna Allaha Rabbi wa Rabbukum fa'abudu. So worship him. Hada siratun mustaqim. I say in light of recent events, because whenever we have a horrific slaughter, killing, unfortunately, it's always turned back to the Muslims did it. It's this religion that's responsible for it. When actually, our Deen al-Islam, our religion, couldn't be more clear about what is right and what is wrong. We have it all in one book, called Quran, which is sent by one Rabb, Allah. Now, you recall last week I mentioned Rabbi, wa Rabbukum, I gave you the word Rabb. And I said, in English translations, it's Lord. But I told you that's a poor translation because it means so many things. The arranger, the one who orders our affairs, and the one who gives us everything we need. Remember, I mentioned the health and the wealth and the safety and the security and the family and the friends. It's Allah. We know this. But when there comes a time of tension and misrepresentation, Isa so clearly stated, Inna Allah, truly, verily, Inna Allah. Inna means without a doubt, be sure. Inna Allah Rabbi wa Rabbukum. The same Lord that's mine is also yours. Fa'abudu. So worship him alone. The verse goes on, the next verse continues by saying that Isa sensed that they wouldn't believe, and he asked for help. He asked the Hawariyin, which is loosely translated as the disciples, the apostles. We know that Isa had apostles, disciples, his friends. And he asked them to help. To help what? To call to Allah. The verse says, Man ansari ilallah. Who will bring victory and help me to call to Allah? And they said that they would. They said, yes, we will. Because they were the pure ones. The word Hawariyun means those whose heart, they were filled with light of Iman. They believed. The Sahaba who followed Prophet Muhammad were also similar in their personalities. They were fearless, and they wanted to spread this message. So you see, now we're having the mighty word Allah, Allahu Akbar specifically, distorted, damaged, lied about by those who either truly have bad intentions, perhaps they are insane, perhaps it is a lie and these words were not uttered. We cannot know. These are things that we should not even worry or concern ourselves with. What happened was by the will and decree of Allah. You know, one of the things in our Aqidah is that Allah allows what he does not love. There are things that happen through Allah's will and bringing forth. We call it al-Mashiach. Allah wills something and causes it to happen. You see, nothing can happen unless Allah allows it to happen. So now I'm here teaching you Aqidah, teaching you Arabic words, trying my best to let you love Islam more and more. And those of you who don't know about Islam, maybe you'll be interested and you'll want to learn more. Maybe you will accept Islam. And all the while, I'm trying to do this. We have other agendas at the same time working and moving in opposite directions, trying to make you fear the mighty name of Allah, trying to make you despise the very fact that Muslims are converting quickly from all the other known religions. We are having converts. And those converts are here in America. So the agenda is to try to make the converts appear dangerous and distasteful. So I really do believe that in light of recent events, it would be unjust, it would be cowardly, and very wrong of me to not address that Allah is Rabbi wa Rabbukum. And here, Isa said it to Banu Israel. Whether you like it or not, tribe of Israel, sons of Israel, however you want to say it, Allah, Rabbi wa Rabbukum. So let's have Rabbi first. Rabbi, Rabbi. Now, last week, if you recall, we had the Ra, we had the Bet, and now we put on this Ye. The letter Ye is used for the possessive pronoun my Lord, Rabbi. I could say my house, Baiti. I could say my book, Kitabi. So when you see this letter on the end, the Ye, it makes it a possessive for the first person. I'm using English grammar now, hoping that some of you do know English grammar. I know most people don't know it anymore, and it's only because I'm old that I say things like this. However, just know when you see the Ye, it means my. Rabbi wa Rabbukum. Look at the kum. Here, this kaf and this meme, it means your. It's the second person, personal, possessive pronoun. Rabbukum, kum. So you have Rabbi wa Rabbukum. Rabbi wa Rabbukum. My Lord and your Lord. There's no two different Rabbs. There's only Allah. He's the only Rabb. Saints are not Rabbs. The mother, his own mother, Mary, Maryam in Arabic, Jesus' mother, she's not a Rabb. Allah is the Rabb. Rabbi wa Rabbukum Allah. Fa'abudu. Fa'abudu. We remember the fa comes meaning, and so then worship him. Fa'abudu. Now you might say, oh, I think I've seen that before in the previous lesson. No. In the previous lesson, it was ibadih. So I'm going to show you so you can distinguish. Ibadih. Remember we had Allah al-Qahir. He was the vanquisher. Fawq ibadih. That was 2 lessons ago. We had that. But you can see here there's a similar pattern here. In this one, fa'abuduh. That circle on the end means him. So worship him. So worship him. Now the other ibadih means his. The circle here means his. We said Allah is the vanquisher above his servants. Ibadih, his servants. The root here, the root is abada. Ain bada. abada. So this ibadi is a plural noun. His worshippers, his servants, his slaves, sometimes translated as. And this one, fa'abudu, is a verb. So worship him. Fa'abudu. Here the circle on the end means him. It's the masculine pronoun. So if we take this lesson and we use it as a lesson in aqidah, not only in the Arabic writing and the grammar, which I do stress with you, and I want to always continue to teach you simple Arabic words, and hopefully you're writing them and you're keeping them in your notebook, and you're becoming friendly with the Arabic so that you can feel it's not a strange language for you. It's actually literally the reason you were created, was to learn about Allah, to know Allah, and to love Allah, and to expect good things from Allah, but also to fear Allah's punishment if you knowingly disobey him. And only he knows what anyone knows. How can I ever venture to claim that I know how much anyone knows about Islam? I don't know what feelings they have in their heart or what thoughts they have in their mind. I don't know what their intentions are. And I should never presume that I know what Allah will do to them. Sometimes what seems like a punishment is really something blessed that Allah does for reasons that only he knows. We will do Allah's name next week, Ar-Rahman. I had thought to do it today because I wanted you to feel safe and secure and happy to know that Allah is all merciful and his mercy covers everyone. But then I thought I'll save it for next week, because before we do the mighty name of Allah, Ar-Rahman, I wanted to restate and reclarify the Rabb. Because last week it was in the context of Islam. Allah is our Rabb. And we believe that. And he leads us to the Surat Al-Mustaqim, the straight path. Now, in this ayah, I did not give you Surat Al-Mustaqim because that's going to come later. But let's just say it means the straight path. I'm not going to write it for you. But the Surat is one of the words in Arabic that means something that leads to something. But we have other words. We have a tariq, sharia. These are road. You can say a road, a street. But the Surat is specifically for something that you have set as a goal. Something that you're going towards and you know it's what you want. So if we know that our goal is Allah and we want the paradise, wouldn't we want the fastest and best way to get there? This is Surat Al-Mustaqim. It's a straight path. Not this. Not swerving and detouring and, oh, well, I don't drink this week, but there's a party, so next week I'll just have a glass of wine. Or, oh, I wear hijab. I know I want modesty. I know I want to prevent myself from vanities. I don't want men looking at me with lustful eyes. But maybe sometimes if I go to the beach, I'll wear a bathing suit. No. That's not Sirat al-Mustaqim. Sirat al-Mustaqim is a straight path. So if you know that Allah is all merciful and he's given us this book, and in this book, he tells us that this is the recipe. This is the recipe This is the way. This is the Surat Al Mustaqim. But you notice that you'll see this book, you'll see the Quran placed in all these horrific reports in the media about some sort of a crazed, quote, Muslim, unquote, who's murdered innocents. And they keep showing this book as though this is where all the trouble starts. This is the problem. It's this book. Well, this is either a good book or a bad book. I think it's a great book. And I am proud to carry it and to read it in public. And I'm very, very proud to say Allahu Akbar in public. And I want everyone to know that the meaning of Allahu Akbar is Allah is greater than anything and anyone. And there's no way that you can cripple Allah. You may be able to somehow place obstacles in the way of Muslims. There are so many ways that people can use their power and authority to waylay the spreading of the message. However, Allah is unstoppable because Allah is our Rabb. So He will bring to us everything we need. Of this you must be certain. Allah Rabbi wa Rabbukum. Now, the fact that Jesus said it, as I said, I want you to finish the verse that comes after. When He sensed that the tribe of Israel was not going to accept Him. And He asked for help from His disciples. And they said yes. And then you know what else they said in this verse? We're Muslim. We're Muslim. Now, here's an exact proof that anyone who submits to Allah's orders from any prophet will call Muslim. I will go on further with this in other lessons. It happened with Musa and Ibrahim and other prophets, but it means they submit. Muslim means you submit. You obey the orders and you submit. So all of this propaganda and attempts to divide us, it's a trial. It's a trial for those of us who believe in Islam. And it's a trial for those who don't know to go search. Try to seek out information. Now, there's so much on the internet. I think there's too much on the internet. If I were a young person today trying to find out something about Islam, I really do believe I would be overwhelmed. I wouldn't know where to begin. I really do think it's easier to just pick up a Quran in translation and read it. That's how I did it. And of course, as I told you, you all know, I've been a Muslim for 32 years and there was no internet that I could have used back then. So I had the advantage of simplifying it through the Quran. Seek and you shall find. This was one of the Christian adages we used to say. The truth is one. Allah is one. Allah is Rabbi wa Rabbukum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.